Hello everybody, welcome to Slay the Spire, playing as the Defect on Ascension 1. Thank you for joining me. Let's see, our options are upgrade a card, enemies in your next 3 combats have 1 HP, transform 2 cards. Okay, I would probably choose this every time, regardless of what the map looks like. Ascension 1 is elite spawn more often, and the Defect is well equipped to knock out Act 1 elites with a starter deck, so we don't need to even think about sniping. I think I'd rather take the zero cost zap. That allows us to fly through our deck that much more effectively. Hexa Ghost. This is 2 from here. This would be 2, but this would be 3. Either one of these would be 3. 3 elites. Early store, which we don't have much money, but sometimes grabbing a potion, but more importantly it's the fire right before. So, and if we take this route here, we have our 3 easy fights. Alright, seems like a plan to me. Okay, this is free. Might as well full block, we have 2 orbs up. I'll hit this. I think that gives us a 75% chance of just killing it. And we do. Okay. The reach is probably real good here. Yeah, it's just lethal. As soon as we pass, it's lethal. Cool. 0 HP lost. Weakness potion. Alright. Ouch. The number 1 card you want to see offered. And this is like probably number 2 or 3. I don't know if I would favor this over a cold snap on floor 1, but gotta take the ball lightning. Compile driver is better once you have some frost orb generation. But okay, that's free. We'll block everything we can. Simple. Ouch. We took a hit point. Alright, so he is wide open. Just gonna, oh, that's just lethal. Okay. I didn't realize. Yeah, that, ooh-hoo-hoo. Ooh-hoo-hoo-hoo. I really like charge battery. So the starter deck for Defect only has 4 defend out of 10 cards. Neither of these can act as defends as it stands. If this was a cold snap, then this could be a form of generation. So picking up a common block card in Act 1 is not a bad idea. And charge battery is a good one. The pushing an energy forward while giving you more block than a defend, that's just really good. Remove a card from your deck. Oh man. Alright, so this makes the pickup of charge battery a little worse. But mostly just against Gremlin Knob. Let's see what the store has for us. Can't afford any of these. Wouldn't want any of these. So, card removal. Yikes. Yikesy yikes. Is it time for a defend? Yes. As I was saying, the pickup of the charge battery became a little more questionable with the removal of a strike. Removing a defend here. Alright, so our deck is the same size as when we started, except for our strike got upgraded to a ball lightning and a defend got upgraded to a charge battery. Still a very tight deck, which is nice because that means we'll see these 3 cards, well, these 4 cards, that much more regularly, which is nice. Alright, 3rd easy fight. Get your dab on. Come on, do it, do it, do it, do it. Aw, I like it when he does that. Okay, so we just have a strong open there. Okay, so yeah, this is full block, which is unfortunate because we don't actually have anything to do with the rest of our energy. And that's not lethal. It's funny we didn't have enough attack cards and we've already pulled a defend off the deck. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, that's fine. Nice tight deck. Ooh, Sweeping Beam. Yep. We don't have any AoE, and I believe, yeah, we're right up on top of a campfire. Perfect. So this card is pretty decent on its own, but when it's upgraded, it's so much better. It becomes a valid single target, which, since it draws a card, you want to cast it. But also, if it's AoE... Oh, and it is AoE! Look at that! That's so good. That is so good. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and start focus firing one. Because this gives us another energy, let's double check. Yeah, I've got possibly a lot going on. You want to focus fire down one of these, so I think it's entirely possible that striking here rather than playing the battery is okay. With the fact that the energy gets pushed forward, I'm going to take a risk here. Alright, so Sweeping Beam draws our final card, which is dual cast. We will cast it. Nice. That gives us... Hey, let me draw my card. There we go. Alright, so not full block here, but once we have it down to 2, it's a little more manageable. Now here, the fact that we have a smaller deck is going to be punished a little bit because all the days that's been put in now get reshuffled. So our deck is just... Oh my gosh. Hey, gads. Okay, well, so this won't be a full block, but at least we have a couple orbs. Striking them down. It was pointed out to me that these look like the Twitter birds. Which is funny to me. Alright. We could do 19 to this guy and have a 75% chance that the orbs finish him off, which would justify not spending any energy on mitigation. So I'm going to give it a whirl. The numbers say it's a safe bet. There we go. And then we should be able to lethal this guy. So getting away through our first elite with only 11 hit points missing seems pretty good. Juju Bracelet, alright, so random encounters become safer for trying. Oh my gosh. This is shaping up to be like the perfect run. Yes, defrag, of course. You can upgrade that here. Okay. We're gonna block what we can, and dual cast is probably premature. I mean, I realize it's not gonna be up for 5 turns, but I'd rather have the steady damage, especially because that frees us up to do defend stuff. Let's draw a card. Defrag, and that allows us to do this. I don't like passing on the ball lightning, but this is a 1 game, so let's just mitigate what we can. 12, which means this and this is full block. We could reach for 16 right now. I might as well. Oh wait, I forgot. It's even more with the defrag. Wow. Okay. Having a good start here. Good start. I don't want any of these. Melter's an okay pick in the 3rd act if you're going up against Dono and Deku, or I think Time Eater also puts on a lot of armor. But before that, Happy Flower. Interesting. Okay, so we made this cost 0. This pushes an energy forward, and now every 3 turns we're going to get an extra energy. So we are having a pretty good start, I would say. Let us pass. We're looking to be able to set up defrag before we open up. And if we could get his zap, that'd be good too. Oh, oh, oh. All of the above. Okay, well, I think we have to just go then. Because if I play the defrag and the zap, I don't know if he wakes up. But honestly, what's better start than having 3 orbs and defrag in play? So, hate to see the charge battery go, but I mean, it's about to get shuffled back in, so we can even draw it next hand. Okay, we're going to be taking 18. Let us... Okay, we have 4 energy, so I will do this. Well, I would have done it anyways, it's just a question of what we're planning to do with our energy. So let me throw this at him. 13, and I think we can block for 12. So there we go. Yep, we'll take 1 damage this turn. He's already at half health. That's technically our second turn playing with him. Block what we can. And ball lightning. And then next turn he'll give us free shots. And we only have to come up with 13 damage on our own. Less if it's ball lightning or zap. Okay. Shuriken. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better about taking out one of the defense. Okay, so we tend to be more orb based, so the strength buff isn't as great, but it is a form of scaling damage along with defrag, so this is pretty phenomenal. I'm not going to do much now, but what this means is we can take 0 cast cards like Go for the Eyes, the beam that applies vulnerable, FTL would be a good one. The reason being is because 0 cost attack would make it more reliable that we can pop the Shuriken on any given turn. Okay, Hologram. Hologram. I like Hologram. In its unupgraded form, it exhausts, which is okay. In its upgraded form, it doesn't exhaust, but it's also worth more block. Allows us to draw anything back from our deck, which would, you know, include Zap, Sweeping Beam, Ball Lightning, even Charge Battery. So it's like a flexible... if it's the top of our deck opening hand, it's like a fork, if you're familiar with Magic. If there's stuff in our graveyard, then it's a regrowth. And even if it's in our opening hand, we could play a card, Hologram, get it right back, play it again. So imagine Sweeping Beam when we faced the Sentries. That would be an okay start. So I like the Hologram here. We do have several targets that it could, you know, justifiably go for. None of which are particularly strong right now, but that's kind of the thing. This card will get stronger as we add cards to our deck. In theory. Smith. It's got to be defrag. Gotta be the defrag. So this will help scale our orbs. This will help scale our attacks. Which, now that I think about it, taking the Hologram works against that. So maybe that wasn't a great pick. Not that we had... Oh! We get the Sentries fight again. Okay. Well. He's the weak outer one this turn, so we'll do this. And we just have all of our block cards. Alright, so there's a really good chance we actually draw into Sweeping Beam, Hologram Sweeping Beam. It's unfortunate that, yeah, because we would want to get the defrag down if we drew it as well. Which means the Hologram would have to go... Okay, but we did not... Well, we might draw into it, though, here. Yeah, we did. Oh! Oh! Battery! We did the battery! Okay, so we have 4 energy this turn. That's fantastic. I was just looking at what if we did defrag and then focus fired on this one. We would be doing 12, it'd bring it down to 7. These would be 4, we'd need 2 of them to hit. It's not very likely. So even though this way takes us some damage, was Zap in our graveyard already? Discard pile, whatever. So let me do... Oh, Equilibrium. That's a nice little chunk of... And what this does is I could play the defrag next turn. Focus on a full block. Well, we're only missing 2, so yeah, let's do this. We'll take 2 damage to do 3 more this turn and every subsequent turn. Wow, so the outer ones are on par. And this coming turn, we probably just nuke the middle one for the purpose of mitigation. Maybe not. It's kind of out of our hands. Dual cast will decide the fate. Alright, so it's just over, right? No, we don't have enough energy, but we don't need the energy because the lightning orbs are going up. Sweet. That was easy peasy. Preserved insect. Alright. That's it for Act 1, but it'll come into play Act 2. Good potion there. FTL. That works in with Shuriken quite nicely. And it's the only one here worth picking, because we already have 1 hologram, and I don't think hologram's the kind of card you want more than 1 of in your deck. Okay, well, with the boss fight coming up, I think upgrading the charge battery. This is our primary block card, our big block, if you will. It's one we're happy to play. Sometimes even if we would otherwise be casting a strike just to push the energy forward. So I think charge battery is the play here. Okay, one more hallway fight before Hexaghost. Nothing to hologram, although playing it strictly for the armor is not a bad idea. Oh, wait. I even commented on this. Charge battery, hologram, charge battery is not only full block, but pushes 2 energy forward. Nice! That Happy Flower's really helping out. Okay, let's see. Oh, Sweeping Beam, sure. One's just dead. Let's see here. The Ball Lightning just kills this outright. And that's 15, so it's just over. It's just over. We could pass and it would be over. Wow, we massacred them, Louises. Charge battery number 2. Oh, just before Hexaghost. It would, I mean, I'm definitely glad we took out a defend earlier. Our block density is getting a little too high, but what that means, especially with the Shuriken, I don't know. We only have 5 attacks in the deck. 6. I haven't been paying attention to how much we've actually been able to trigger that. We have a campfire coming up. What would we upgrade? We'd probably upgrade hologram, right? If we did choose charge battery, we would upgrade charge battery. Oh, this is such a hard decision. Right now, I think choosing charge battery is a bad idea, but later it would be pretty phenomenal. Alright, let's skip it. It pains me to do, but with the Shuriken and our already tight deck, it's probably a good idea. Well, especially because if we're going to upgrade hologram, now it's a permanent fixture in our deck. So it becomes more of a reliable defend instead of strictly a regrowth. That's another reason to just... all of our defense are in our hand this turn. That's not good. Ball Lightning, hologram, we don't have the energy to cast, so I think we would rather Ball Lightning than... Well, if we hologrammed this, drew a card, and drew FTL, we would trigger the Shuriken. kind of a long shot. Although alternatively, it could also draw into Zap, and it would actually be better overall. I don't know. I don't know. It's a bad idea though, because if we drew into defrag, we wouldn't want to discard it, so we'll just let it ride. It sucks to see so much of our armor going away just before turn 2. Yikes, we have no block. But we do have 4 energy, that's insane. Alright, well, good thing we have some health. And we are doing some serious damage. He is too, but FTL. Draws a card. Defrag, charge, battery, ball, lightning is probably our turn, so we don't need to bother with hologram. Although if we did, it is block enough, so we could FTL again, draw another card, but since our energy's already spoken for, I don't see how drawing another card is particularly good. And this also gives us an energy next turn, so as eager as I am to play with hologram, I think I need to try and keep a level head. It's hard to though. It's been a pretty exciting run. Had a pretty good draw overall. We have 4 energy this turn because of the battery. Alright, that works out well with this. And now we get full block. Do another 15. Alright, already below half. That's a good sign. Only doing 6 this turn. So strike, hologram, strike, and strike, strike. The only reason I would double defend there is because we have the burn in our hands. I don't know that either way was better than the other. I was pretty confident that we didn't need a strength potion to do this though, so I'm pleased to see that that was a fair assessment. And here's one of those times where we're just going to cast charge battery to kick the energy over to the next turn. This is a turn that we're going to want to be 14, 16, 18. We're going to be at 1 health. We're going to be at 1 health. But I think he just might be dead, so never mind. We didn't even have to get our lightning orbs in. I don't know what I was getting scared all about. Oh, all for one. That fits in perfectly with hologram and FTL. Zap to a lesser extent. We were kind of running out of cards to upgrade with all for one. I think dual cast becoming 0 cost becomes a little more valuable, although then we have as many evokers as we do balls, so that's slightly problematic. Moving into Act 2, we want to start collecting frost orbs anyways, or at least I think we do. Normally we would. We have a pretty tight deck here, but yeah, we can't pass on all for one. 0 cast Zap alone might be worth it. These two together, the Shuriken. Yeah, this doesn't help with Shuriken, obviously, but still. Yeah, FTL, all for one FTL. That's a Shuriken. That's 20 damage. Possibly draw 2 cards if we have both cards in our hand. Yeah, that's really good. That's the kind of combo that you build around somewhat. And quite frankly, we have, not intentionally, but the only outliers really are Ball, Lightning, Defrag, and Sweeping Beam, and these two work very well together, along with the existing deck, and this, yeah. I'm extremely satisfied. Let's see what's in the box. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, this is complicated. Obviously, we're not going to take this. Well, if we... I don't know why I was so quick to say that. Truthfully, like I was just saying, if dual cast became 0 cost, all for one means we would be playing it, you know, at least half the time we'd be playing it 2 times through a single pass of the deck, and we only have 2 orb generators. So we would potentially be out of orbs. This would supply orbs in the meantime. Frost orbs at that, which I was just saying is something we want to get into. So, while I don't think this is the pick, it does make more sense than any run I've ever been in. Interesting. Now keep in mind that that really does kind of require dual cast to be 0 cost, and typically campfires are not available in the early act, so it would be a minute before that came into pass, and it comes at the cost of the orb that we actually start off with, so that opportunity cost alone is usually why this is not worth the pick. Anyways, enough about that because we know we're not taking it. This was okay last run when I wasn't playing on Ascension. It was okay. The extra energy. What we would be looking for now is like card draw and frost orb generation, but maybe not with the all-for-one hologram combo. You know, now that I think about it, all-for-one hologram combo requires some energy, so this is looking pretty good. On the other hand, the Runic Pyramid, we're gonna be dumping most of our hand, and the ability to hold on to, say, charge battery until it was time to use it would be nice. However, I think holding on to our whole hand at this point would make more sense if we already had 4 energy. So I think the Busted Crown is the play here. Quite frankly, this card scares me. I've chosen it a couple times and it just gets awkward. And obviously I think that's more of a reflection on me than the relic itself. But so there we go, another Busted Crown, Act 1. Thank you guys for joining me. I will see you in the next act. Take care. Okay, on to Act 2, and this map is really something else. We have a lot of elites, a lot of fires, shops. It's not clear which path is ideal. The good news is we have options. For example, if we start here, we have 2 stops before we have to decide if we want the early shop or continue on here. And then once we do come on here, do we want the fire, elite fire, to be able to get another fire, possibly another chance at, or do we go this route, which gives us more elites, fire there, another shop still, but also another elite, which we can jog around. So at least we have options. So I think starting here is good. Quick recap, in the beginning we kept a very tight deck. We removed a strike and a defend very early in favor of ball, lightning, and charge battery. Our starting bonus was zap being made 0 cost, which has been very helpful. Picked up a defrag, we got a little AoE, a little bit card draw. And then this package here was, wow. I took, at the point in time I took Hologram, it was a bad pick, but I knew it had potential. And then we chose the FTL because we got Shuriken, so the ability to like be able to trip that with some regularity seemed to be important. And then we got this from the final boss, so this just kind of became like our central build around. Between these 3 cards and the Shuriken, this is like the deck that we're playing, so something to keep in mind. Yeah, like here we could just zap, all for one zap. Is that good? Oh, thanks to the flower we have 5 energy, so 3, 4, 5, yeah, I don't see how we have a choice really. So it's unfortunate we don't have any block this turn, but the stuff that we're about to pull off is pretty nifty, so I will not complain. Or I will, and understand that it's a first world problem, although to be fair, we're taking more than 25% of our health this turn alone. Who knows what next turn has to hold for us. Probably be able to kill this guy, which means, yeah, these 2 kill him, and we have 2 defend. So we have everything in our hand we need to, and we're drawing 2 cards. I forgot the FTL is a draw card. Alright, so there's that. Upgrade our orbs. And since we can't kill him this turn, we're pushing energy next turn. That's the other thing I forgot to mention at the recap with the Happy Flower and the battery and the 0 casting cost cards. Like, we're pretty good as far as he's just bang. Yeah, it did 9, the sweeping beam, but because we had the strength from that, it did 10, and that was lethal. We didn't have to play a second card that turn. Equilibrium. Equilibrium. I think if I chose this card, it would be more for the retain than anything. Because we have this awkward situation. I was thinking about this off camera because I was talking at the end of the last part how if we made dual cast cost 0, it would be chewing up 2 orbs per deck cycle. And that's not necessarily true. We could dual cast if it costs 0, all for 1 dual cast, then hologram the all for 1 dual cast. So we would actually be chewing up 3 orbs per deck pass, possibly. And then of course, you know, that progression, if all for 1 can be held until we actually have 0 cost in our graveyard, or if hologram can be held until all for 1's in our graveyard. So I like the retain aspect of this card. However, it would work against the Shuriken, and it's with hologram in the deck, it could be argued we're block heavy as it is. I think it could go either way. I think I'm going to skip it because I'm enjoying how tight the deck is. But I think taking it for the retain alone wouldn't be the worst of things. Lose strength potion, lose all for 1. No, lose all for 1. I don't think we want to give up the money. I don't know that we're going here yet, but strength potions relative. Oh, very nice. Some extra survivability. Very nice. Yes, sir. Okay, so if we take this route, this option becomes closed to us, and quite frankly, it's the most lucrative, unless we really wanted to prioritize campfires, which we can do from here. So I'm going to go this way. We don't need that early shot necessarily. Okay, so we have 5 energy, defrag, charge battery. We do have the buffer, but if we can avoid making use of it, all the better. There we go. Now this does actually nothing because of the plated armor, but we do have 2 energy coming over to the next turn, so that's nice. Yeah, his plated armor is what makes it difficult. Okay, here's hoping we draw a zap. Didn't. But we have lots of energy, so we might draw a zap here. We did. Okay, so now all for 1 gets a little bit better value. Obviously, we won't draw off of the FTL here, but we were basically defend or not defends the same because of the buffer. We're going to use this opportunity while his armor's down to do as much damage. Yeah, defend or not is the same thing because it's a single attack and we have the buffer. So that's going to be a little awkward each fight, but that is health that we didn't lose, so I'm not complaining. Alright, so is this lethal? Yes it is. Good enough, and we have the strength. So yeah, the Shuriken's doing a little bit of work here. Reinforced body. Wow! We keep being offered a lot of really good block cards. Ugh, and if we don't take them, we're going to be crying in the third act. I don't think we have a choice here, though. Oh, I guess we get an early shop all the same. FTL. Gotta take the FTL. Data disk. Oh my gosh. Data disk. This is a really good shop. Card removal is not necessary, but we would like to. Ball lightning's okay once dual cast becomes 0 cost. Obviously, I'd rather get into Frost Orbs. Speaking of which, I was thinking about this run off camera, and I noticed that I keep saying to myself when I get to second act and Defect, what I want now is a little bit more card draw and some Frost Orbs. So I think I'm finally understanding why Cool-Headed is as well revered as it is. So Data Disk is most important here, I would argue. Although it does somewhat conflict with the Shuriken, we're kind of like split. And this is one of the challenges of the class, is that the orb system's kind of potent, but it kind of tears you away from strength and dexterity. Alright, we definitely got to play this, and we do have another opportunity for a charged battery here. We just took 2. A second FTL. Let's see, Campfire comes here. Second charged battery. Gotta pay money for it, but Let's see how the deck performs like this. It's very tight. And the second ATL, or FTL, makes All for One that much more strong, makes the Shuriken much more a given. So we have a very strong deck. Obviously, enemies with Malleable are going to punish us, especially if they're attacking for 21 on turn 1. All we can do is draw the cards we can draw. Hologram is not upgraded, or I mean FTL is not upgraded. If it was, we could draw with Hologram and draw a card off of it, but we want to play Hologram because we don't have much in the way of block. Looks like we're still going to take 7 this turn regardless. Defrag, defense, so we don't really have the energy to take this, so we wouldn't take this for the card draw. Let's take this. Although it could be argued that doing the damage as 1 card rather than 2 is better because of the Malleable. I don't think that's incorrect. So let's see here. If we don't defend, first block, choose up our buffer, but if we do defend, second block, choose up our buffer, or attack, which means we take 7 rather than 14. We did trip the Shuriken, so our attacks get stronger. And this helps to justify our lack of taking of all these great block cards we keep being offered. FTL. All for 1. FTL, the other one won't draw a card. Alright, so that was a lot of work. It would have looked a lot better if you didn't have Malleable. So again, we're looking at 21. We can only block 15, and if we do, we're not doing all of this. That's one of the reasons I like to charge battery, because when in doubt, this at least gives you energy next turn. So now we're going to take another 6. You know, all these campfires aren't going to mean much if... yeah, we might have to go the campfire route. Our block is a little low in general. Alright, so finally he lets up, and we've got all the energy in the world, so that's just kind of insulting. But at least we have 2 strength. And now it looks like we can just pass and the game will be over. So yeah, these buffs don't matter as far as our orbs go. So that's what we'll do. Keep it simple. White noise. With a tight deck, we do have a bit of recursion. I don't know that any of our powers would contribute to our survivability other than barrier. The fact that they cost 0 is pretty fun. This can be a fun card, but I don't think it fits here. Yeah, I think we have to go the fire route. So what does that leave us with? 1 elite with 3 fires, another 4 fires total. Yeah, because we're going to need to heal at least one of them. Possibly. Dark cast going down, or dual cast going down to 0. It's actually kind of scary because then we won't have any residual orbs, which makes defrag less valuable. So the shop will definitely come in handy. We get a shop either way. I think we have to go this way because we might be able to heal, or we might be healing. Going this way, we have 1 elite fight, 2 hallway fights. We're not going to have to heal now. Up next upgrade probably goes to dual cast, so that All for One can pick it up. Since we only have lightning orbs, it's a nice little burst combo, but it leaves us with no remaining orbs, so longer fights it could be a little problematic. Oh, we're not there. We're here. I can't call it. Let's go to the fire. Hate passing up on elites, but the fact that we're probably going to need to heal. Well, you know what? Now that I think about it, we could have healed here after this if need be. Then we would have had no upgrades, which is fine. Dual cast at 1 cost is fine, especially since we found ourselves with too much energy a couple times. Eek! It's the slavers. Sweeping beam draws into hologram. No such luck. Zap. I want to break this potion. it's either defend, defend, and strike, or all for one zap. All for one zap seems kind of weak. So yeah, let's do this. We'll strike him. Oh, I suppose if I did all for one, I could have then struck to trigger this, but then we would have missed out on any block. 16 means now we don't take any damage this turn because the Helix will absorb this. That's pretty good. Especially because as soon as we hologram, we can just beam, and that gets the fight real close to end. There it is. FTL, we are weakened. That's unfortunate. Hologram. Sweeping beam. There's that. Defrag's helpful. Dual cast. I think I wanted ball lightning first. Oh, especially since it's exact lethal. Okay, so what are the chances these both hit? One. Nah, you dog. Alright. Can't have everything. Alright, well, we're going to waste our flower here. We get an extra energy and we're probably not going to need it. C'est la vie. Alright. So, yeah. Ooh! Bottled Tornado. That's power. And we only have the one power. And it's okay with us if it's in our opening hand. So nice. I don't mind. Oh, Cold Snap. Yes. Yes. Okay, we have a Frost Orb now. It'll make things a little awkward, but at least we have multiple orbs now. So that's good. Do we need to rest here? This cannot be a hallway fight, and it's not until Act 3 that it can be... No, that's not true. I think in Act 1 you have the Stomping Mushrooms, in Act 2 you have the dead body that you loot. So it is entirely possible that we need the heal for there. I'll go ahead and take it. Since it's pretty clear we're going to need one heal before the boss, I'll take it now. Because realistically, what would we even upgrade? You know, it would be something like All for One or Ball Lightning or Cold Snap just to make them more damage. I suppose upgrading the FTL to give them a larger window allows us to do more shenanigans while benefiting from the card draw. Okay, well, our potion belt is out of potions, so there's that. Of course, that's only going to happen when we fight, so remove a card from your deck. Yes, and with the inclusion of Cold Snap, I'm okay with it being Strike, even though that does work against the Shuriken. The FTLs are in there for that purpose. We can't be going full bore. Balanced deck is more successful. Okay, so anything on the bottom row could be argued for. If we're kind of built around All for One, okay. It is an expensive card, comparatively speaking. That's why we took the Busted Crown. So the other ones are more reliably going to hit. And depending on how the last two hallway fights go, we might get a second upgrade before the boss, but we also might get different cards by then. So, and it would be awkward if the FTLs... What does the FTL upgrade? Only 6 damage? Okay, I don't think increasing the window is worth an upgrade then. So it's All for One, Ball Lightning, or Cold Snap. And quite frankly, the way the deck has performed this far, I think I would like to best incentivize myself to do Cold Snap. I have a love-hate relationship with the Frost Orbs. It's like, it's so much fun to just do Lightning, 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 but the way you close out the run is with Frost Orbs. We don't have enough money for a card removal. Beam would be good, though. That plays into Shuriken and for All for One. Alright. Oh no. Oh no, where's a smoke bomb? Oh no. We don't even get a proper setup here. No third attack? Oh. Bad fight, bad opening hand. Ugh. Save me, Helix, you're my only hope. Oh. Well, all for one gets a little interesting here. This defend is free. That's 10. This is full block, gives us another energy for next turn, which is great. We could all for one, but it would just be for the defend. If we drew a card, we wouldn't be able to play it. This is weak and the vulnerable falls off, so yeah, we will in fact all for one, even though this is excessive. Yeah, I did try a run with Snecko Eye, as I just don't like the mechanic, the confuse. It's not fun. You build your deck a certain way with certain understandings, and then all that gets thrown out the window. It reminds me of when World of Warcraft and Wrath of the Lich King leaned heavily into vehicle combat. It's like you spend all that time building your character, getting to learn how to play your character, and then... Alright, enough of that. Let's see here. We want to try and summon 15 block this turn. Hologram gives us another 5. And all for one uses up all of our energy, but we can do more damage and get the rest of our blocks. So let's do that. Okay, there's the rest of the block that we need. That actually triggered the shuriken. Nice. Yeah, FTL, all for one FTL is a shuriken. So go for the eyes and the... What? Why can I never remember the name of that card? Beam Cell. I guess because it doesn't make sense to me. We don't even have 3 attacks here. We don't need much in the way of block though, so that's nice. In fact, I was going to say once we cast Cold Snap, we don't actually need any more block. But it's all we can cast, so there you go. At least this fight's going to be over somewhat quickly, and it doesn't look like we're going to lose any health. That's another thing that's nice about this, is if you lose track of the fight, you can look. Oh, buffer's still here. I did, in fact, not lose any health. So there's FTL, all for one. Amazing. It's free. Would we cast FTL here just because it's the last opportunity for card draw? Let us see. We're going to be getting a defend, which gives us 20 total. So, yeah. If we could draw into some form of block, that would be nice. In fact, we did not. We will go ahead and play this first, though, just in case what we draw is 0 cost. It's not. Oh, he's just dead anyways. Better still. Explosive potion, not bad. Nope. Very satisfied with the one we have, though. Come on, champ. Alrighty. This fight can get gross. Let's see. We have 5 energy to start with. Very nice. Thank you, Flower. We'll do that, and that, and that, and that, and that, that. And here, playing the defend is the same as not, so 0 point. Did get a strength out of that turn though, so that's nice. And of course our defrag is down, so that's nice too. Alright. Beam Cell is 1 attack. Unfortunately, we're not going to get 3 attacks this turn, so we will dual cast though. And then Ball Lightning. So it's possible he just dies anyways, but this is all we have left to do with our energy, so that's what we will do. In fact, we can make it for sure, but we already have full block. There's no point. And I forgot the battery was upgraded. I thought we were getting 12, so I'm pleased to see it's full block. Oh no, they healed. Whatever will we do? Oh, let's see. This is... draws the rest of our deck. FTL. No, we can't play it. I was going to hologram for all for one. But we can play it now for the card. No, we can't. We have to ATL or all for one. Alright, that's fine though. 6 damage, so we'll do that first. So now when we do this... Oh wow, it's just game over. Sweet. Very potent. Fusion. If we had a compile driver and this was plus, excuse me, if we had a pile driver or this was plus, I would consider it. But neither of those conditions are met, so I don't think it's worth considering. Alright. I don't think we need to heal to full. So I think what we'll do here is upgrade beam cell so that the vulnerable lasts longer than the turn. And it's great because as compact as our deck is, this might be enough to keep him under full vulnerable. Now, at one point he does shed his debuffs, so obviously that's a problem. We have no block besides a Frost Orb. There we go. I should have cast this first. Alright, so we just lost out on 4 damage. Alright. And we only have the energy to cast all this stuff, so I will hologram the beam cell, and that triggers that, which is nice. We would have gotten it from here anyways. Oh, what am I thinking of? If we can't full block, oh, damn. Alright, if I could take that turn over, I would have played it a lot better. Yeah, we should have beam celled first, and then cast, and then we wouldn't have wasted, because casting all the defense or not is the same thing. Alright, so we are going to dual cast, zap, all for 1, zap. We're not going to bother dual casting here, there's no point, and we'll just play that to get the energy next turn. In fact, we're coming up on a point where we might want to drink this potion, the one that gives us orb slots. Draw a card, nice, nice, nice. And we have 10, 18 block if we let this evoke. So I'm going to let it evoke rather than, I was considering drinking this, but we get full block if we let this evoke, so let's just do it. There we go, play our whole hand, not bad. Didn't quite get to Shuriken, but the vulnerable's persisting, which is nice. Hopefully we draw the beam cell right when he sheds his... Alright, all for 1, so we just gotta make sure we don't draw through the bottom of our deck. Dual cast and then zap is free. This draws another card, increasing our chances of getting more zeros. We don't. Do that, get all our zeros back. Bang, 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 bang. Now's the time to drink. We're getting a potion every fight, so why not? And then of course I play the battery just to get the extra energy. Between the battery and the flower, things have been fairly smooth most turns, even though we're doing the whole all for 1 shenanigans. FTL first, of course. Beam cell. Strike. Oh, you know what? As soon as we knew we weren't drawing any cards, I should have hologrammed FTL for the card draw. Oops! Alright, so I'm used to like playing full orb, so I guess that's why I'm making some of these mistakes. But you can't argue with results, so I'm not going to dwell on it for too long. Dual cast, I would say normally is premature being a boss fight, but his health getting so low, that's fine with me. What would we pull back? I guess strike. It hits the hardest, doesn't it? Yeah. I don't think we need the 2 more turns of vulnerable at this point. Do you? I think this class makes it easy for me to commit to a smaller deck because its deck is so formidable right out of the gate. Alright, thankfully we have enough health that we could take this if we needed to. Obviously I think we're going to do what we can. Oh, we probably just have lethal actually, never mind. Never mind, we probably just have lethal. Yeah, we just have lethal. Basic kick, you didn't even get a chance to cast execute, that's incredible. Thunderstrike. Oh, curse you, busted crown. Curse you! Alright, we gotta skip the boss reward. Grumble, grumble. What's in the box? Gads. What happens if we astrolabe 2 strikes and a defend? Seriously. What would happen? This, I don't even know how much we're going to be going to elites. I could be wrong, but the deck seems better suited for hallway fights than elites. A little bit more card draw would solve that, I think, because then I'd be confident in drawing what little block we do have. So maybe a second charge battery would have been okay. This is ho-hum. What the heck? We're having fun. Go for the eyes. Aggregate's a plus, so it's every 3 rather than every 4. We haven't been having energy problems, but sometimes we need room for the all-for-one shenanigans. Recursion, it is 0 cost, so it's like a free card. All-for-one will bring it back, but I don't know if that justifies... Like, if we went to a card removal spot, I think this is the card I would remove. But at least it does have some synergy with all-for-one, so while it is in our deck, maybe it does something. It's basically a dual cast that's half as effective, but leaves the orb intact. I suppose, since we have a Frost Orb, like, it could help us do positioning, but since we don't have a loop, I don't imagine that's going to be particularly important. And we don't have a Dark Orb either, so... I don't know. The go for the eyes is really good, obviously. It's weakness, and when we just transform to defend, we're losing a little bit of survival, so that's really good. The aggregate, since it's a plus, I'm willing to give it a shot. I don't think I've ever played with the card. Every 3 cards seems better than all 4, although we do have a very small deck. So basically, by time we have 5 cards left in our deck, this becomes useless. And obviously that's going to be on a rotating window. And since we draw 5 cards, so basically the top 2/3 of our deck, this is okay. So not that we know if we're going to need it, but sometimes we do. If it's the turn we're putting this down, or if we're playing some of this, it can be. Then again, that might not be the same. Since we got rid of the 2 strikes and defend, maybe we just have less to be doing each turn anyways. Remains to be seen, but I'm excited because I'm very much in unfamiliar territory with this run. But I'm having a ball, and I hope you guys are too. I will see you in the next act. Take care. Okay, on to Act 3. Just a quick recap. We have a very tight deck. At the end of Act 2, we chose the Astrolabe. We chose our last 2 strikes and one of our defends. And we got Aggregate Plus, Go for the Eyes Plus, and Recursion Plus. These are both 0 cost, so they fit in with our all-for-one package. This one being useful, this one not so much. This will probably be our next card removal. Yeah, very tight deck. Alright. This map is almost as bad as the last one. Bad, good. Bad in terms of indecisiveness. Good in terms of we have multiple options here. So if we start off here right away, we have a fork in the road. I don't know how interested I am in elites. I think we got a fine assortment of relics. Obviously we're going to have to fight 1, as you can see. But this is campfire, store, elite, campfire, or after this campfire we can go to store if card removal is a thing, or if we have the money or whatnot. So let's get started. Alright. One thing I like about Act 3, or dislike, is fights like this really make you think. For example, we have to put up the charge battery just to cast Sweeping Beam, otherwise, and we're still going to take 9, so we should put up the defend as well, and then put the defrag down, and then of course we do want to invest in the balls of lightning, since that's an easy way to kill these without having to worry about their thorns level. Yeah, starting at this point, it's almost going to be prohibitive to cast. Well, just about anything that would do damage to them, really. Let's see here. All for One is in, let's see, FTL. Okay, so now we have all the defense we need for this turn. Beam Cell. Zap. Now do we hologram for All for One? Yes, we have lots of energy, and we need the armor. Oh, but we can't actually cast it. Yes, we can. We would take 5 if we did, which means we're not going to get full block, but we do still have this. So I will go ahead and hit the one that's attacking us. Alright. And then we'll do this. And we could attack Chew Up, because if we're going to be using the barrier anyways, might as well show something for it. So yeah, let's do that. Alright. Oh wow, we don't get attacked at all. Even better. So we still have our barrier. Nice. Now the barrier doesn't work on the thorns, so, but it's just over. Alright. Fairy in a bottle's quite good. Leap. Yes, I think we want that. We did just chew up a defend. It's weird, right? Like the 2 FTLs and the sweeping beam are the only real draw that we have. We need to get this out of our deck. That'll thin it down some. So we don't have much in the way of block. It's nice that Hologram also provides block. I think we'll take the leap. Oh. Yeah, click on the card to take it, not just acknowledge it. Alright, what's going on here? Alright, once again, you know, this run is very reminiscent of the last one, to be honest with you. In both we faced Donu and Deku. This was there then too. I guess we just lose the max HP. I don't think the Madness would be so bad. Because we were playing a bit of a recursion deck, so we have a slightly slower start for what might end up being a little bit faster. Although with the aggregate and our 0 cost, I'm not sure how much we would need things to cost 0. All for One would be nice, but that's really about it. Everything else is more than affordable on a turn-by-turn basis. And it would slow down, and it occupies a card slot in your hand, the turn it's drawn, etc., etc. Wow. Okay, so if we went FTL, All for One, we would not be able to draw off the FTL. So let's just Beam Cell first. That way we go bang, bang, and now we have Shuriken, so we have strength. Bring them all back, do it all over again. FTL, Beam Cell, there we go. Another strength. Take that. And we armor up. Nice. We almost killed him turn 1. In fact, if we had drank this, we could have. Oh, perhaps we should have. Because we are... It's fine. We don't have, like, self-repair or anything like that that we need to get online before ending the fight. Alright, so we're just going to discard it anyways. Fruit Juice. Upgraded Ball Lightning. The only reason I would be tempted to take this is because we have Defragment Plus in our starting hand. Dual cast cost 0, we're doing a lot of recurrence with it. We're not really holding on to the orbs that we have. But I think if we want to be able to cycle through all our 0 costs, keeping our deck slim, this would be doing more of something we're almost doing enough of, so I'm just going to skip it and keep the deck size down. I'm not averse to. Okay, so here we'll actually use the... We only have one that does the thorns thing. These guys dilute your draw pile, so we really ought to focus on them. So I can beam cell here, hologram, get it back, do it again, like I said, with another focus fire. There's that. Okay, so there we go. We will have full block, so our barrier remains intact. Yeah, it sucks that those go into the draw pile. And then of course he explodes in time, so all in all, not fun. Alright, we'll do the dual cast first, see where it lands. It's nice that it hit the thorny guy, but at the same time it's a little unfortunate. He hits for more. So we're going like this. We're going to have 15 block. That blocks these two, the burial. So we're not going to take any damage this turn. That's pretty handy. But we are in turn closer to the back one exploding, so we might... Oh, you know what? In fact, since he wasn't diluting the deck, I mean, I think it started because we needed to go for the eye as the guy who was attacking for the most. But that's fine. So he's preparing to blow up. We do have a sweeping beam. Same rules as before, FTL, FTL, for one we don't get them back. So let's do this first, simplify the equation. No. We would want to leap first. So 10 to all. You know what though? It's not gonna matter. So we can leap first. Just play these for the draw. Yeah, because I don't think we're going to do a lot of playing more stuff. All we get back for zero cost is dual cast that we care about. And right now there is an orb up front. So let's do this to increase our orbs. And then do this. We're going to skip the all for one. Alright. That's fine. I suppose at the beginning of all that I could have cast aggregate to get an extra... Oh, look, it's just over. Sweet. No sense dwelling on the past. Melter. Melter, melter, melter. We are facing them. But, since we have stacking strength, I don't think their armor is going to be a big enough factor to dilute our deck just for... Like, if we get off for Melter here, yeah, maybe. But for now, it seems extraneous. Alright, this is not a fun fight. We're vulnerable first. Draw. This gets us a bunch of energy we don't need. Kick some of it forward. Okay, not fun. And now our blocking capabilities are probably insufficient. We want to block for 32 this turn. We only can do 14. FTL and beam cell. Okay. We can do this. And this. I don't know how good front loading the damage is when we're not going to be closing out the fight this turn, so but at least for each time that we're casting that. That doesn't matter, obviously. Well, I guess it does matter because we're gonna take the choke, and now this hits our buffer. Can we race him down from here or defend enough? Maybe. FTL. Recursion is 0 casting cost. This will draw our last card, so we gotta make sure we don't draw another card after this. Another 0. Wow, look at that. Hologram into all for one. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, this is why I wanted to keep the deck thin. That was pretty sweet. Fear Potion is probably a little redundant, but we do have this that we can just drink, so why not take it? Nope, not good enough for this deck. We are snotty in this deck. Snooty, snooty, that's the word I was looking for, snooty. I think that Leap is the card here. We need to beef up our blocks. Okay, what do we have here? This run has been pushing charge battery the entire time. Meat, what would we remove? We would remove recursion, right? Recursion, yeah. I think that's what we do. At 245, let's see, 2 random skills. Defend, defend. I'll tell you what, let's do this. Attack, attack, power, skill. Already upgraded, defend. Oh, nice! So if we bought this, it would upgrade our 2 defends. That's really good. Nice. Okay, good. So that means the remaining campfires. Wow. We remove recursion. Get even thinner. Nice. So we're in a pretty good spot, I would say. Let's test that theory. Oh no. So this guy could be bad. If we, yeah, like here, we're getting a lot of block cards when this is our opportunity to attack. Is that? We always put the defrag down, so now the question is 5 and 8 would be 13. Is that enough to full block? No. And since we have the barrier, oh, it's not a single hit. It's not a single hit. Alright. So we do want to block what we can. We'll go ahead and do zap because it's free, and we use the rest to do that. Okay. So we absorb the first 2, and the barrier takes the 3rd hit. So we take nothing this turn, which is nice. But now he goes to intangible. Thankfully, hologram and all for one are in our discard pile, so it's not like we would be doing any super flashy stuff this turn. We can weaken him, which is very good here. This is neither here nor there, really. It's 2 damage. We'll do this. What does that leave us with? 30 out of 33. Not bad. We take only 3. Yep. And if we can unload on him this turn, I will use the vulnerability potion. Oh wait, we haven't seen Beam Saw yet, so that's just what we do there. Aggregate. It mocks us. Alright, well at least we'll be able to draw through to the rest of our... we'll do this first so that we get the extra damage from that. And that. There goes Shuriken. He's not attacking, so... let's just get all the energy because we can. Do that. Do that. Alright. I wonder if vulnerable first turn would have made him dead there. Now the burns get into our deck. Hologram to FTL for the card draw. Or hold snap for the... No, we don't have enough energy for all of that. So FTL for the card draw. Of course, by that same token, we don't have the energy for whatever we draw. So that's unfortunate. And it's not even clear if proceeding down this path is enough block. Looks like it is. Actually, it's quite a bit enough. 10, 15, 20. So that means we can afford to all for one, right? Yeah, that's probably has some fun things going on with it. Oh, not so much on his... Yeah, I'm not going to dual cast on his intangible turn. We'd rather keep the orb than just do 2 damage, because we can. The other ones were okay, because it was just... there was no downside. Alright, so this will be the last turn he walks the earth. Good night. Lost 3. Oh, yes! That is very good defined. Very good defined. We didn't use a potion that turn. So Fairy in a Bottle number 2. A bit redundant, but that's okay. That's a bit redundant. Yeah, so when you have Fairy in the Bottle and Lizard's Tail, which basically does the same thing, the potion expires first, which I'm very pleased about, since these are things we rotate through, and the relic is just used up at that point. There's the other melter. Whoops, whoops, whoops. That was not what I was looking at. I wanted to look at this. We still have 2 hallway fights. The elite's behind us, though, so Melter might be okay. Melter might be okay. It's Melter Plus. Move all black. They don't really generate much at a time though, like 16 I think. And if we have the FTLs in our hand, we're going to be casting them first anyways to get the draw. Alright. So I'm thinking Melter's probably superfluous. Probably. Bag of preparation. Cool. So we start each turn as if we are the silent. Or each combo. Of which there are not many remaining. Okay, next upgrade. This is second to last. And these are all almost equally viable. These only upgrade by 1 damage each, however their window for draw is extended. So this is, in a way, giving us card draw. Not strictly speaking, but since we are regurgitating the cards, you know, there's going to be times where that's how it plays out. Like this. Yeah, we'll play the one with the smaller window first, even though it probably doesn't matter. Aggregate gets us an extra energy if we play it now before we draw. Don't know if we'll need it. Just doing all our drawing first. Beam cell now that we've done all of our... So we do that, we'll do that. We need 10 block, and we have all that and some. Alright, so when we find our All for One and Hologram, we're going to have some fun. With any luck... Never mind, I was going to say with any luck we find the All for One first, but if we're bringing back FTLs and drawing, we'll probably just get the Hologram anyways, and even if we didn't, then we're at the point where we're redrawing. We do have 5 energy this turn, so we could All for One Hologram All for One. That is probably lucrative, so let's give it a chance. Well, he's just plain easiest to kill. In fact, that does kill him because they're vulnerable. One with a smaller window first, right? That guy dies sooner. There goes Shuriken. So we probably are killing this guy this turn. So let's put the go for the eyes on. Well, he's got armor. Let's revisit that. Free. Yeah, there we go. Give me Hologram, All for One, and it should be just over. But look at the amount of strength we are amassing here. Boom, there goes strength number 5. Yeah, that's why we wanted to keep the deck nice and slim. I haven't played enough with this potion. I know it's powerful, but I wouldn't know how to use it properly. So I think I'm just going to do this. There's probably going to be a turn. Oh, stack. We don't have the biggest deck. I think we are about due for one more block card. So let's take that. It's plus, which means even if it's on your opening hand, it's, you know, on par with the regular defend, which isn't the end of the world. Similar story. And then, of course, we can do All for One at the last fire, assuming we don't need to heal, because the deck kind of revolves around that. Okay, so this fight is very complex. Basically, every time you hit him, he changes his disposition, and one of those dispositions is an ability that basically puts a curse in your deck permanently. So unfortunately for us, what that means is we kind of have to spend each turn leaving one attack in our hand. That way, if it comes up with a disposition we don't like, we can force a reroll. It's a bit wonky, but... So right now I'm just trying to figure out, do we beam cell before the FTL? And we have no way of knowing, because if we FTL into the other FTL, then the All for One FTL is not going to accomplish anything. In fact, the All for One FTL is not going to accomplish anything anyways. Because we have go for the eyes. this. And his malleable makes this pretty complicated too. I don't think we want a dual cast here. We do have enough energy to sweeping beam first though, so let's see if we grab another zero cost. We do. And in fact, because we grabbed that one specifically, we can dual cast, which is great. So here's the part where I'm talking about. We'll go ahead and apply the debuffs, of course, and then we'll see where he's at. Is this a disposition we're okay with? Yeah, sure. So we will do this, and I don't think this triggers. No. So we're going to hold on to the FTL, because if we re-roll him, he gives us a curse permanently. So we're up to 2 strength already. The dexterity means this is a full block. We still have a buffer intact, which is nice. We did more than half his life that turn. And look at that. We have hologram into all for 1. It's hard to believe that hologram was an early pickup. FTL is still eligible, so let's do that. This FTL is eligible, so let's do that. Now we've drawn through almost our whole deck. We're going to do, let's see, we don't know how much energy we have to leave for, oh wait, we only have the 1. Alright, that sucks. I was just thinking it would be great if he was hitting us for 1 big attack, but we can't guarantee that. Alright, we'll do this and this. We will keep the buffs rolling. I don't think one's more important than the other. Alright, how do we feel about that? That's pretty good. So we're going to leave it at that. We have full block here. Kick energy to the next turn. Yeah, the Act 3 hallway fights just require a lot of mental presence. And I'm okay with that. Alright, freshly reshuffled deck. We do have 5 energy this turn, so we can just do an all for 1. Clown Fiesta, although with just the 1 FTL, probably not worth it. But we do get some draw this way, so we do that. Would we hologram it? Maybe not. Let's do that. Alright, that's a good disposition. Let's do this, and this. And did we put Zap in here? We did. So let's get the rest of our armor this way and do that. There we go. Oh, that's just lethal. What am I doing? Okay. Energy potion's not very important. Even in Act 1 before we had 4 energy, it wasn't that important. I just said energy's not important. We don't want that. Okay. What is this event? Do we want colorless cards? Colorless cards do have a lot of 0 casting cost. And we can skip on any one of these. Oh, with the crown it's not nearly as good. Okay, we don't want that. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken the health hit if I had remembered about the crown. That's unfortunate. Alright. Hopefully that 10 health is not relevant. Or we could we could rest. Seriously, maybe we should rest. It's not like the 4 damage on all for 1. Well, I shouldn't look at it that way, because we do have strength, we're going to have vulnerable. I do think they start with stacks of artifacts, so they won't be exposed right away, but it's not like the fight's going to be over in 3 turns. Alright, so my understanding, like I mentioned before, is I'm told that the simple version is if you have the damage, aim for her first. And I think that we do, so that's what I want to shoot for. Aggregate seems really good here. Sweeping beam. Go for the eyes, which does not debuff. And where does that leave us? We definitely want to deploy this. We do this, and this, and this, and this. We actually have energy left over. Full block. Our buffer remains intact. Very good first turn. That sucks. Stop diluting our deck. All for 1. Let's beam cell first. Again, this does not apply a debuff. And quite frankly, I can't figure out why She still has much artifact as he does, because I thought we... Oh, she wasn't attacking! Okay, mistake on my part. Rewind, turn 1. He was attacking. We should have go for the eyes to him to remove an artifact. By going for the eyes to her, she wasn't attacking. It wasn't trying... Okay. Alright. I made a mistake. That's fine. Or, let's hope that it was fine. We don't actually know yet. Okay, FTL does draw a card. And this does... PL... Oh, no! That was a misclick. I held it out to here, and then I was like, well, which one would we want to stick? Because whichever one. So now I just, again, made the exact same mistake I was saying made the first time. We cast go for the eyes on the one that's not attacking. So these guys are starting off with one more artifact each than they otherwise would have. And now the decision as to which one we want to stick is made for us. Unfortunate. So we could use Hologram here for the... she's peeled away, so let's actually do that. We have 3 energy. We can only cast 3 of these. We need to block for 26. We have 5 here. We need to come up with 21 block. And these 3 easily do it, and then some. In fact, we could probably Hologram for a 1 cost, but let's just play it safe and do... Oh yeah, I forgot. Go for the eyes will weaken her. That's okay. The weakness will persist. Man, that sucks. Yeah, should have cast gone for eyes, him, and then her on the recur. Alright. This is not the best time to be making mistakes. Okay, so yeah, here is kind of what I was talking about. They only have 16 armor, and we would want to be casting this first. Well, I guess that's not true. If we had had a melter, casting the melter first would have been fine. We can apply vulnerable to her. And I did not aggregate first, but it looks like it doesn't matter. So we'll dual cast, zap. And we are not going to be able to block for nearly enough this turn. And it's unfortunate that things line up this way, because this block is only going to do 3. And then we're going to take 13. That sucks. Still has 2 artifact. Very unfortunate. Alright, so we'll draw a card. Wow. It's a good turn to have 5 energy, huh? So we'll do that. The FTL's 2 cards play, so they both will draw a card. For better or worse. Go for the eyes. Let's make sure we cast it on the right one this time. Bang. Jesus Christ. Alright, so let's do this. I'm going to try to use the beam cell on him. In fact, I think we just will, regardless of how this lands. So there's that, and now he's not attacking us. We can just go buck wild, which is good, because the only downside here is that go for the eyes will not debuff him, but since he's got the artifact anyways... Oh! It won't peel back the artifact because it's not trying to debuff him. Alright. Zap. We don't need to dual cast here. We don't need the armor, so we're just going to let it ride. Alright, so she went down fairly flawlessly. My mistakes notwithstanding. We're going to draw the rest of our deck this turn, so any card draw reshuffles the deck. Let's do that. Pulls off all of his armor. Zap. Ball lightning, and I made yet another mistake. Stack before shuffling. Wow, I am a winner. I am a winner. Alright, let's just go ahead and drink this here. Get the most out of that. We still have full block, so it's good for me, in my opinion, to see this. The misclick kind of sucked because that wasn't on me, but it's good that I notice these things so that I can correct in the future. Draw. If we go for the eyes now, or all for 1 now, we get draw back on those, I think. Fewer than 4. No, one of them would draw, but not both. I think it's worth it to not double up and go for the eyes if we can get 1 more card draw. Yeah, okay, I did count that all right. Good. See, I understand some things about the game. There we go. glad we were not punished for my mistakes. Thank you guys so much for putting up with that and for joining me for this run. I appreciate it. Any feedback you have, please let me know. I am definitely interested. Thank you for joining me. I will see you in the next episode. Take care.